I gotta tell you, I've been sitting down here for like the last hour listening to music out of this thing, having an absolute blast. This is the Fluminer L2. It is a combination Bluetooth speaker with a cryptocurrency miner. This is the first of its kind, and I think it is so cool. If you don't know this about me, I have really a couple passions. One is music and one is cryptocurrency. I'm a musician. I used to play in bands, tour the country, write albums. I write all of my own music for this channel. I got so excited at the thought of having that passion brought to my other one, which is cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, blockchain, YouTube, etc. And so I'm having an absolute blast with this thing. But we got to ground ourselves because there's really going to be 4 categories that I'm going to rate this on. I don't want to get overhyped on it. And as we go through the rest of this video, we're going to do its build quality, we're going to do its audio quality, its mining performance, and then its coolness factor. And I'm going to rate all of those out of 10. So let's get started. I think first impressions are definitely build quality. It's the first thing you do before you even power it on is you pick it up and you get a sense of the intent of the machine and the design of the machine. And so in this case, I think the build quality is actually excellent. Now there's a few things that we'll review here. It's made out of premium materials. I don't think this is actual leather. I think it's some kind of fake leather, but it feels great. It's definitely premium. All the screws that they've used are premium to assemble it. Now the front speaker mesh is actually solid. It's a kind of metal. It's not fabric. All the knobs and the buttons feel premium. Everything about it says that it's a premium product, and I'm gonna give that a 10 out of 10 in build quality. I really don't know what else there is for them to improve on this. You know, we'll take a little bit of a deeper look just to get to know the Fluminer L2 a little bit more. Starting at the top, these are your audio controls. The knobs all feel premium. You have one for volume, one for treble and bass. We'll get into that when we get into the audio quality in a little bit. You also have your skip, your pause, and your skip back to the last track all on the top here with a interesting one, I guess, is the USB port is a USB-A port. I wonder why not USB-C, but there's a USB-A port on top. Status LED, and then your power button is up there as well. Now, the one thing to know about this machine is that since it's a combination speaker and cryptocurrency miner, in fact, it does Dogecoin, Litecoin, the Scrypt algorithm, so the way it's built is it's actually split kind of down the middle. So you would think in the front by just looking at it that this is stereo, that there's a speaker cone here and a speaker cone here, but that's actually not, in fact, the way it's designed. The audio, the speaker is only here on this side. That's the only speaker. It's a small speaker cone that is sending out all of the audio. Everything that's happening on the other side of the machine is the mining part of it. That's where your ASIC chips are. That's where the fan is. And when you look at the back, it mimics this. So you can see the rear bass port is only on the side with that single speaker cone. And on the other side, you have the big exhaust port that houses the fan that is getting all of the heat extracted from the unit. So when you look at it, the intake is actually kind of smart. The intake is coming through the speaker grill, and then it's getting exhausted, going over the ASIC chips, and then that hot air is getting exhausted out of the back. And on this side, it's sending the audio out the front, and then you'll feel the bass and the air moving from that speaker cone getting sent out the back of the Fluminer L2. So really interesting design. I think it's fascinating, which is why it gets that 10 out of 10, maybe like a 9.8 out of 10 because of that USB-A port on the top. I'm not really sure why they decided to do that, but there it is. There's build quality. Next up is the audio quality. Now, it's really difficult, if not impossible, to give you a sense of what this actually sounds like through a YouTube video. Even if I mic this thing up with all my expensive microphones into a professional mixer, you're just not going to get a sense because of YouTube's compression, because of my room. It's always going to sound different wherever you are compared to what you might listen through YouTube through your phone speaker. So what I can do is just give you my opinions based on my experience and some other comparisons. You know, I've listened to a ton of speakers over my time in music, from big professional ones, from studio speakers, to big bookshelf speakers or floor standing speakers, ones in professional studio environments, to all your consumer grade speakers, the speakers in my truck as I commute. Like, I listen to all of those. I would give this a 5 out of 10. It's a 5 out of 10. It's a small single speaker cone just over here. It sounds good, but it's not great, okay? It made some compromises because it's also a cryptocurrency miner. Couple things that I've noticed about it. Volume at lower levels, like where I would be comfortable listening to it sitting right here, sounds pretty good. When you start to raise the volume, you definitely start getting some distortion, but it can get very loud. It would easily fill whatever room you would put this in its entirety. Even like a huge family room or living room, this would fill the entire room, no problem. The treble and bass controls are interesting on the top. They don't do a lot, it's very subtle, but the thing that I've noticed with the bass control is as you pump that up, as you turn that up, you're gonna get some audio ducking. What happens, what audio ducking is, if you don't know, is essentially when the volume of other frequencies are reduced when the volume of the frequency that you've turned up comes into play. So thinking about this when you're listening to a song, if you turn up the bass, when that bass drum hits from the drums, all the other music that's happening is gonna get a little lower, and it causes a little bit of like a pumping sensation in music. So I've noticed that when I turn that bass up. So I kind of leave it in the middle. Treble is really subtle. I probably leave that either in the middle as well. Just depends on the type of music that you're into and the quality of the music that you're sending through it. That's what I've noticed as far as audio quality. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. I think totally doable. Most people probably would think it's fine. I think that I wish it was a stereo speaker. It's not, that's okay. I think the controls are nice, they're subtle. I think it gets a little distorted when you turn it up all the way, but a lot of speakers do. But still, I think it's totally passable considering the two things it's doing at once, mining cryptocurrency and playing music over Bluetooth. I don't know if I mentioned this, it's a Bluetooth speaker. I don't know if it works plugging into USB-A. I don't think I have anything that even could plug into USB-A at this point. But as far as a Bluetooth speaker, works just great. Next up is mining performance. So this mines the Scrypt algorithm, which is a really popular algorithm now. It's definitely getting more and more in the home mining space, as well as in the commercial industrial mining space, where you're seeing more home mining machines like this coming out, the Fluminer L1, which I'll leave a video linked up in the card above for my content on that. You're seeing machines from AlphaPex and just a spattering of others that are pushing forward Scrypt mining at home and commercially. And so that's what this mines. That's the algorithm, which includes Litecoin, Dogecoin. Dogecoin is by far the most profitable. And then it does all the merge mining coins as well. There's like 8 total coins that this can mine at once, just like anything else that mines Scrypt. Now, it's kind of interesting to see like what the specs are that is advertised for this versus what it does. And there's quite a large variation in what is advertised and what it does. And I think this is probably one of the first units out there. So maybe the original numbers were what they could get at the time, and then they've pushed it a little bit further. This gets 1.2 gigahash per second. And you can see it's pulling 330 watts. It's advertised for much less than that. It's typically advertised for 1 gigahash per second from anywhere from 230 to 280 watts. But we're doing more hash and we're pulling more wattage to do that. Again, 1.2 for 330. You can see it over on the meter right there. So where does that place us like efficiency wise? It places us okay. It's on par with the AlphaPex home mining machines. But in fact, the Volk miner, which I did a video on, I'll leave that up in the card above, and the Fluminer L1 are more efficient. Those come in at a 0.23 on efficiency, which is the best out of home mining machines right now for Scrypt. But this comes in at a 0.27. So just thinking about like in that class of home miners, this machine, at least my machine, is not on par with those where I think it should be. The commercial machines are gonna do way better in terms of efficiency, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about this cool Bluetooth speaker cryptocurrency miner. So 1.2 gigahash, 330 watts, tested it at the pool. It's doing it. I'm happy with it. I give it 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 in mining performance because it's not on par with the other home mining machines in this category, probably using the same ASIC chips. Last one, the most important one, the coolness factor. I mean, let's be real here. This is a speaker that mines cryptocurrency. There are no more out there that are like this. There are certainly other like appliance cryptocurrency machines that have come out. You know, you're talking about the Avalon Mini 3. That is that baseboard heater I did a video on. I'll leave that linked up in the card above. That's an appliance first and then a Bitcoin miner second. And there's been others that have come out as well over the last couple of years. But this is as far as I know, this is the first speaker. And I think that is extremely cool. So the coolness factor on this one, I mean, it goes up to 11. This is an 11 out of 10 as far as coolness factor. Man, I can't wait to just have this thing. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Maybe behind me, over here, maybe on the shelf over there. But it's staying probably down here. So as I'm prepping for videos, working on mining rigs, like I could have some music coming out of this. And it's also mining cryptocurrency. And I think that is probably the coolest thing ever. For anybody, for yourself or anybody in your life that is into cryptocurrency, into mining, and into music, I think this is just a wonderful gift, a wonderful purchase for yourself. You know, take into account some of those things, like it's making some sacrifices to do both. So though the build quality is fantastic, coolness factor is off the charts, audio quality is fine, mining performance is fine. And I think, in my opinion, because of how cool it is, because of the things that it's doing, I think that's just totally acceptable. So that's it. That's the Fluminer L2, the world's first Bluetooth speaker and cryptocurrency miner. If you like this video, on the screen here, you're gonna see the video on that baseboard heater that mines Bitcoin. That's really cool, and I highly recommend you check that out. As well as the first version of this, the Fluminer L1. It's not a cool speaker, but it is a great home cryptocurrency miner, so I hope you check that out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you in the next one.